What if Manchester United had to let go of Rasmus Højlund just to get their hands on the next big thing in European football? The buzz around Benjamin Šeško is growing louder by the day, and so is the debate. Would swapping Højlund for Šeško be a genius move or a massive mistake? And how did this simple transfer talk turn into one of the most unpredictable sagas of the summer? Let's break it down, because the fans are talking and they're not holding back. Before we dive into what people are saying, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your opinion in the comments. Would you take Šeško over Højlund? Let us know below. Let's start with the basics. Some fans are genuinely excited at the idea of Benjamin Šeško joining Manchester United. One voice captures it simply: Šeško to Manchester United, here we go. The enthusiasm is there. The dream is alive. And some are hopeful it's just a matter of time. Others chimed in with raw excitement, with one even shouting out a fiery Šeško fire to United. There's clearly a lot of hype, but is it justified? Well, not everyone's convinced. In fact, some fans think Šeško's hype is way out of proportion. One said bluntly, Šeško is very overrated. Another took a playful jab, saying the way he and his agent act, you'd think it's young Lionel Messi we're talking about. Ouch, that's a pretty tall comparison for someone still proving himself. And then there's the reality check. Man Utd don't want Šeško. They won't afford him. According to this take, it's not even about who's better. It's about whether United can actually pull the deal off financially. Interestingly, a surprising number of people don't think Šeško's ideal move is United at all. There's a strong argument that Newcastle might be the better fit. One fan suggested that Eddie Howe would turn Šeško into a beast of a striker, just like he did with Isak. Another added that Šeško would be more productive and grow at Newcastle. It's an idea that's gaining traction, especially with the way Howe is building a young, dynamic squad. Even Højlund's name comes up in this conversation, with someone suggesting Højlund doesn't want to move. I think he'll end up at Newcastle. So while the media connects Šeško to United, the fans are already plotting out a totally different Premier League destination. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The swap scenario. One user thought out loud, could do a direct swap plus a transfer fee. Sounds like a smart thing to do. This kind of suggestion sparks curiosity. After all, if Højlund doesn't fully settle in at Old Trafford, and if Šeško is genuinely open to the Premier League, could this be a win-win? Well, not so fast. Some people strongly disagree with the idea of selling Højlund at all. In fact, a fair take went like this: United should not consider selling Højlund for Šeško. Instead, they should sell Xerxes. Šeško and Højlund would create healthy competition as the main strikers. Makes sense. Why get rid of a young player with potential when you can build a future with two? Then there's the skeptic crowd, who believe United is a striker graveyard at the moment. If he goes to Manchester Reds, he'll be back in the Bundesliga within 2 years. That's not confidence. That's a cautionary tale. Among the heated takes and tactical theories, fans didn't hold back on injecting a little humor. One viewer couldn't help but notice the wardrobe choices on the panel. Why did Blood come dressed in his favorite Star Wars t-shirt and a blazer? Another claimed, if laughter prolonged life, this video would make me immortal. Now that's a 5-star review. And then there are those who are just done with it all. The Šeško saga continues. Short, sharp, and clearly tired of all the rumors. Some reactions weren't subtle at all. One said flat out, no, because he's terrible. Another chimed in with a quieter concern. Probably not. Højlund doesn't want to move. You can feel the fatigue setting in with some fans. The idea of rearranging your striker lineup just as Højlund is starting to settle feels more like backtracking than progress. And let's not forget the brutal honesty. Šeško will go to whoever pays his agent the most. Yikes. If money talks, then loyalty may not mean much here. So where does that leave us? From the excited cries of here we go to the sarcastic shrugs about young Messi, the public is clearly divided. Some want Šeško at United now. Others think he'd thrive better under Eddie Howe at Newcastle, and many just don't see the point of replacing one young striker with another, especially if you already have Højlund in your squad. In the end, this debate isn't just about a transfer, it's about vision, timing, and trust in your project. Will Manchester United roll the dice? Will Newcastle swoop in quietly and do what they've been doing best, smart, effective signings? Or will this turn into just another what could Or will this turn into just another what could have been in Premier League transfer history? What do you think? Is Benjamin Šeško worth all this noise? Should United keep Højlund and forget about it? Or are you ready for the Šeško era at Old Trafford? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this fan reaction deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more breakdowns just like this.